Today, we're at the Tampa RV Supershow, and if you love Airstreams as much as we do, you've probably already heard that they dropped some pretty big news this week.
Now, we've pulled a few favors and we've talked to the corporate team, and they're going to give us an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at the all-new eStream. So,
I didn't mention it, yeah.
And we heard there's one here?
Yeah.
Adam said he would show us.
Yeah, you guys can get the inside scoop.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Like I geeked out over just the taillights. It's kind of like...
You mean both of them. They're on the front and back.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I saw a video of it parking itself, or parking it with it. Yep. That is going to save a lot of marriages.
Right.
I'm being honest.
So that might be one I'll toss back of like what we're going to name the feature of like the marriage saver.
Literally. Yeah, like
with
all
marriage
of the
saving backup
arguments
technology.
and honestly think about it, like all of this stress for newbies is backing it up and towing it.
I remember I watched all It's also more about like the flexibility of what it can do when you actually realize what it can do for you. And so if you're backed into a campsite, or depending on the architecture of a campground,
right.
if you're which in that model the bedroom's out the back.
Okay.
And so if you would need to back into a spot to be able to have the view that you want to wake up to, if for whatever reason you want to like move the campsite a little bit or move where you're at, you can literally just like, take your phone out, spin the thing, not have to hitch up to your tow vehicle or move it wherever you need to. And so it's the possibility of how it enables what you want to do, not just like dealing with well, then I'd have to do this and I have to move this, or it would be so cool if I could move it there. Like you can park it, horizontally next to a small pond if you wanted to, and not have to worry about the angle at which you're trying to back in, or if it's too dangerous to move your truck down somewhere else. Yeah. Which, of course, don't put your
Airstream
in a
somewhere
dangerous position.
Right.
But it's still the fact of it opens up stuff that people hadn't necessarily thought about. Yeah. Which is the point of it. Like it's as a concept vehicle, what are we not doing?
One of the things I've had happen to me, especially in the earlier days, is we'd park it, and then I whip out the 20-foot like sewer hose, and the sewer's 21 feet away. So then I have to like hitch up
the truck
to move it to 1 feet to plug in this. I'm done.
There's also a bunch of other stuff like an actual integrated air conditioning system, 900 watts of it flat stuff on the roof, so you get rid of the AC, the antennas, all the stuff that's on the roof to decrease the aerodynamic profile, which saves even more fuel or power than you would have, which is also one of the main goals.
All the components have been removed from the roof. Does that give you more sort of real estate for solar panels?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't have the components to work around.
Pretty much the whole roof is
solar?
Solar, yeah.
Okay, so now do we get to go see it? I have to go see it now.
Let's go check it out. Check it out.
This thing is so cool.
I'm trying to contain myself. I'm losing my mind. So this is the black trim you're talking about?
Yep, exactly.
Okay. Wow. Okay, we have underbody lights, and one of the advantages of that is that when we're hooking up at night, we can flip the underbody lights on, and it helps to hook up. Absolutely. Otherwise, you have like headlamps and flashlights, and
It's really cute. I love all the lights.
It's a whole new decor that our interior team put together.
Yeah.
It's super fun.
Another one of the features built into this is the fact that it can work for any tow vehicle, because it's not actually towing it. It could be hybrid, it could be electric, it could be an internal combustion engine that's pulling it. The flexibility of this is the fact that it's not limited or dependent upon a tow vehicle of a certain type. So you could hook it up to your truck today, or you could hook it up to a Model Y or whatever you want, and it'll actually still work all the same, because the tow vehicle is propelling itself behind the tow vehicle, which increases your tow vehicle range, which extends range for quite literally everything. And so the wheels are actually what's driving it, and will actually follow at the same speed, which helps for things like if you're getting on the highway and you need to be able to move quickly, you're not having the drag of trying to pull the vehicle, or if you need to stop quicker, it'll actually respond to that the same way. And there's a lot of stability controls, whether it's a headwind, crosswind, the axle will adjust to that and just deliver a better towing experience, even though it's not towing, it's following.
So this tells me that you may or may not even need a weight distribution hitch.
Absolutely. No more of those.
No more weight distribution. So you literally just saved $1,000 right there.
That's right.
Because you don't need a weight distribution hitch. Nope. Or if you're going with the Pro Pride, you just save $3,000.
That's right. No more weight distributions.
I like this diamond configuration here. This is really nice. Sometimes it's like the detail work that to me matters, you know. It's just looks good. I like it.
You don't have to have the
You don't
high,
have to have a charging
you don't have to
station.
have the high voltage plug-in to recharge it. You can plug it into anything, which will just take longer. Whereas those high voltage ones, you know, replenish the batteries quicker.
Yeah.
You can still plug in a standard campsite to recharge it.
So if you tow to a campground and you plug in your 30 amp or 50 amp into the Airstream, can you charge your electric vehicle from that? From this?
From this, yes. This does have the ability to export power to plug in, whether it's an electric bike that you want to recharge or to a house. This can act as a way to export power from it. Another feature here on the back is a diffuser.
Okay.
So if you're familiar with NASCAR, auto racing in any way, whether it's with different types of spoilers, as part of the aerodynamic profile of this, a diffuser will actually take the pressure from the back of this because it will actually come back and swirl, which creates negative pressure. The diffuser actually will guide that air and disperse it so that there's less drag around the back side of the trailer, which again helps range, efficiency, and decreases the drag coefficient as the thing is actually propelling itself along.
Taking design elements from race cars to enhance aerodynamic capabilities, that's pretty smart. And this taillight, let me tell you, again, just geeking out over the taillight. It's the first time seeing the black trim, and I wasn't quite sure, but actually, I like it. I think mostly because this is something so entirely new, and it also adds a little element that makes it stand out a little bit more.
That's the point of a concept, right? It evokes what you didn't imagine black trim on it. You don't imagine taillights like that, but it's a little bit of what if, driving curiosity. But the point is, electrification is coming. E-mobility is a thing. With Alexa, voice enablement, and everything that you need to know, you can say, Alexa, where's the nearest charging station? Alexa, it's not only do you find out the information about what you need and where you need to go, you actually get vehicle information on demand. And so you can ask it, Airstream, what's my battery level at? And you can either get it pinged back to your phone or see it on an internal display. And so there's vehicle control, like what you guys have in Smart Control today, but that next level of resources about your model or troubleshooting. And so you get support through voice commands as well as support for adventure commands.
Obviously, we wanted to see the eStream in action, but the big show was scheduled at the top of the hour, and we had a little time to kill, which wasn't hard to do because Airstream's parent company, Thor Industries, didn't stop at just creating the electric Airstream. They also created an electric Class B, and it gets up to 300 miles to a charge. So, we figured a walkthrough of it was a great way to pass the time before the big event.
Yeah, very quickly I noticed that you cannot see through the windows.
Isn't that groovy?
It's super groovy.
The push of a button you can, and we'll show you that when you get inside. So something else you might notice is like the exterior of this is very, very streamlined, right?
Okay.
Those giant mirrors that you would standardly see, we've actually turned them into camera.
Okay.
And once you get inside, you'll see the field of vision is greater because it's now a camera. It's not the big mirror. So for this fully electric vehicle, the range is about 300 miles.
Okay.
Or 5 hours. Which what we found is most full-time RVers love to go for about 5 hours and then find a cool spot to camp at or stretch legs or sightsee.
Yeah, 4 is typically our
We're 3
Oh,
to
you
4.
guys are
That's
three to
like,
four.
we're 3 to 4s.
Yeah.
Lately, because she's pregnant, it's like, I feel like it's like 30 minutes to an hour before we have to
For
stop.
potty breaks, it's a thing.
But we used to be 5ers, 6ers, now we're went to 3 to 4 now.
4 is good.
Yeah.
3 to 4
I
is
remember
max.
those days. I've been there. You are going to love the interior of this vehicle.
I'm excited about checking it out. This is so cool. This is Daniel's dream to have
Legitimately. Yeah, so
a ceiling that you can see up
there were like 5 vehicles in the entire state that had the color and the roof like this for a Ford F-250. And we drove literally across the state to pick it up because it had a ceiling like this.
Nice.
It's a huge selling feature.
Yes.
Especially when you're camping though,
Oh,
too.
yes.
You know?
Oh, yes.
You want to be part of the outdoors.
Yes.
Even when you're inside. Okay.
So she did mention that we have digital mirrors. So if you want to take a look at what those digital mirrors would look like from the inside. these mirrors, along with our advanced sensors, our LiDAR and radar, are going to make your driving experience a lot more enjoyable and safer, of course. This is less time that you're actually taking your eyes off the road. Of course, to make our living space a little bit more versatile, this passenger seat does turn around.
Okay.
So they would have their own table. So if you have company over, you can put them in this seat, turn that table around, you have your table, sit on the seat, sit on the couch, pull your table out, have a nice, family dinner. Everybody have a nice little gathering right here inside. So this screen, you can literally control every aspect of this vehicle from this one screen. Okay. So of course you have your other panels around in the different areas as well. But say you forgot to turn off the bathroom light. You're not walking back there. You're tired.
That's a long walk.
That's a long walk. So you just hit the lights, and you can choose which area you want to turn the lights off, or you can tell Alexa to turn off the lights. She does that too because we partnered with Amazon. So Alexa does have a special skill set that we have integrated into the vehicle. So let's say you're driving and you need to know where the next charger is.
Alexa, where's the nearest charger?
Okay.
So she'll pull up your location and show you where the next charger would be and how far you have to go there. So now, let's say you're out boondocking. You don't know how much power you have left. Let me have you ask Alexa.
Alexa, how much power do I have left?
Okay.
So she'll pull up all your information right there, how much battery you have, what's left in your fuel cell, your water, your solar, you're good to go. So we didn't stop there though. We want to make sure you're enjoying your full experience. So let's say you want to stop at a site, but you want more information on where you're going.
Alexa, tell me more about El Capitan.
Okay.
So she'll give you information on El Capitan before you go. But of course, before you go, you need to make sure it's a good day outside, right? You want to look outside and make sure it's not raining. So you're coming right over here. We're going to open up the windows. Take a look at the windows. Now we can see outside.
I love that part.
Wow.
And now you want your privacy back because this guy is looking at you kind of weird. All right, let's close those back up.
Wow. Sign me up. I want this like on every vehicle I own. That is
and
amazing.
The solar roof will be able to do that as well.
Yeah.
So you can dim it so you don't want to wake up to the sun bright and early. You're good to go. The bed would be behind you. It is a Murphy style bed. It would pull down over the couch.
Okay.
Yes. And of course the modern look does extend all the way back into the bathroom. So as you're walking out, you can make sure you stop, take a look at the bathroom, and also the garage, which is in the very back where we relocated your storage, because as you see, we definitely took it off the roof.
Sure. That is so neat.
It's always about the finishes too, right? Like there's just a lot of detail.
It's so nice.
Right down to like ambient lighting and everything. You know, it all matters, you know.
And the lighting also, I don't know if she told you outside, the lighting also is an indicator. So right now, your lighting is white. Okay. Let's say you get in the vehicle and something's wrong and you need to check it before you leave.
Yeah.
That lighting will actually turn red. Like, hey, something's wrong. And you can just be like, hey, Alexa, what's wrong? And she'll tell you, oh, you need to check this.
You need to see a psychiatrist. She'll be like, you need mental health. Alexa can't help you, but here's your psychiatrist, Daniel. And by the way, Daniel, I just booked an appointment for you.
Right. This is a really nice bathroom too for the size of this. Oh, it has a separate shower and that's nice.
Honestly, there's a lot more space in here than I imagined.
Check out that closet.
Looking from the outside.
It's actually a pretty decent size.
Yeah, I mean, you just imagine everything's going to be snug in here, but really there's so much space.
Oh yeah, that's a good sized closet.
Yeah. And the showers, I mean, that's
huge and fantastic. That's
bigger
than our Airstream shower.
It's bigger than the Airstream shower that we have in our 30-foot Airstream Classic. So
yeah, that's cool.
That's huge. You've got to, I mean, again, it's just the finishes that are just.
They're really cool.
Now this bathroom mirror, is that something that's going to eventually just drop down?
It does drop down.
It drops down. Okay, yes. Got it.
That makes
got
sense.
it. This is the equivalent of what you would consider your sort of outdoor garage, but you can bring some of the maybe components that you would typically store on a roof rack inside, and they would be protected against theft, including some flooring storage here as well. Looks like you've got a wall here where you can mount racks at various access points.
After touring the Thor electric van, it was finally time to see the eStream in action. Are you ready for this? Yeah. This is an Airstream that runs on fully electric power and you drive it with your phone or iPad. Can you imagine how epic this would be pulling into a campground? No more back-end stress. Say goodbye to annoying realizations that you're not close enough to the hookups. And you can position her for the sunrise, sunset, beach view, however you wanted for the perfect setup. And you're obviously the coolest camper around because this thing isn't exactly keeping a low profile.
This is the future of backing up your travel trailer. And yeah, get the hamster started.
We obviously need one of these.
No question. No, the only question
I
is...
could actually back it up and I would never have to learn how.
That's true, you could do it with app instead. You wouldn't have to learn how to back up anymore.
Probably should still learn how to back it up. But.
That's true, just in case. Well, no, that's just awesome.
But
It
that
does
is
it all.
really cool.
You talk about turnkey. This is, well, I guess E-key, right? This is the E-key to happier marriages.
You're a dork.
So if you've ever argued backing up, done. It's never gonna happen again.
That was just a teeny snippet of all the cool things that are here at the Tampa RV show. Next week, we're gonna be bringing you more.
So if you haven't already, be sure to click subscribe and ring that little bell right next to it so you'll be notified of all the upcoming video drops as soon as they happen.
But until next week, my friend, make sure to wander local because as you know, it's good for the soul.